Salmonan, guys. Are South Africans xenophobic? Are South Africans racist? Are we sexist? Are we homophobic? All those phobic and phobias. Are we those people? The reason why I'm asking is I've been following these two stories on social media. I've been following the Miss SA and the whole Pretoria Girls High. So again, it just evokes those type of thoughts. Tina, as South Africans, are we xenophobic? As South Africans, are we racist? Are we sexist? Are we all of these things? And I've had a couple of deep conversations with a lot of different friends, also chatting on different groups just about these topics. And I've come to a conclusion. And I know some of you guys might not like it, whatever the case may be, but allow me to actually expand on it. I don't think South Africans are xenophobic. I really don't. Just the definition of xenophobia is talking about being prejudiced or being negative to people of other nations. As a whole, South Africans haven't been that. From the beginning, with Jan van Riebeeck coming on into South Africa, we welcomed a lot of these people that came from different countries around Africa, around Europe, you name it. A lot of us people, Nguni people, we come from East Africa or North Africa, whatever the case may be, coming all the way back down to South Africa. So I don't think we are xenophobic in terms of the definition. I don't think we are xenophobic, again, depending on the country you come from. South Africans, from my understanding, are not xenophobic to people from Lesotho. We're not xenophobic to people from Botswana or DJ Fresh and the likes, or Karabo from Generation 1, Connie Ferguson. We're not xenophobic to people from Swaziland, So who are we xenophobic to? So I think South Africans pick and choose when they want to be negative to a certain group. They pick and choose, So it becomes is he a threat in terms of my job? Is he a threat in terms of criminal activity? And if the answers to those questions are yes, then South Africans become xenophobic to those people. Is it a yellow-boned, big bum lady from Cape Verde coming to South Africa? Am I going to be xenophobic? No. Machi does Oshela all day. Machi does Oshela. If there's ladies coming from Egypt, whatever the case, guys coming from Egypt to play soccer, guys won't feel a type of way. But if it's a Zimbabwean, black Zimbabwean who's here doing cutting hair, let's just say, that's entry level. A lot of Amachi, Tafhamekas, whatever the case may be, might feel intimidated with this guy's coming here to take our jobs and then start reacting. So if I go to me as middle class South Africa, if I go to some of these places in Eyeoville or Ehilbro, I'm not threatened in terms of work. However, I might be threatened in terms of potential criminal activity. Therefore, I'll start behaving in a particular way. But if I'm here in the northern suburbs of Joburg and there is a child in my boys' school who comes from Zambia or comes from Nigeria or comes from Senegal, and the mom works as a dentist, the other one is a lawyer, why don't I feel threatened about those people? Why? I know, Amachi that are deemed racist, xenophobic, they have tons of friends in different spaces, but then they adjust depending on who that individual is. Guys, let's be honest. Nigerians, they have not made a positive name for themselves. So they can't say, oh, South Africans hate us. Bro, there's a reason why so many people bring up these negative stereotypes about Nigerians. You will hear it on Western media when they're talking about the Nigerian prince trying to scam what. You'll hear it about it when it comes to people being hung for drug trafficking in the eastern countries. You hear these things over and over and over. Does that mean all or most Nigerians are bad? No, of course not. Of course that doesn't mean that. It just means the ones that have made a negative name for themselves, it has spread far and wide. Therefore, when South Africans think of Nigerians, they think about potential criminality. That is why they start becoming negative towards them. So again, if you are based in Saudi Arabia and you say you are Nigerian, you'll be discriminated. Why? Because there's a negative name attached to that. So let's be honest in those discussions, guys. Let's be honest. If there's a person who comes from Algeria, comes to South Africans won't be xenophobic. If there's these tall, beautiful women from Ethiopia that are coming to South Africa, you think we're like, Simbula. No, South Africans don't do that. It's a specific country, or specific countries maybe, who have made negative, have negative reputations. That is who South Africans will pounce on. If you threaten their livelihood in terms of job, you're coming here to clean, you're coming here to do nails, you're coming here to cut hair, then that lower class will feel very like hard done by, and they will start attacking. If you are here to do criminal activity, then of course, as South Africans, we'll start being very, very negative towards you and where you come from. However, if you are coming from countries where you are here to add value, if you from stereotypical, I'm being very stereotypical now, so just bear with me. So if you're coming from Europe or America or whatever the case may be, whether you're a black woman or a woman, man, black, whatever the case may be, we tend to be more welcoming. So rather not xenophobic per se in terms of the definition, rather we pick and choose when to be negative and to hate certain people. And again, South Africans, in my opinion, are very colorist. Is that the word? South Africans have been brainwashed into this whole notion of light-skinned girls are more beautiful than dark-skinned girls in general. They've been brainwashed to say white is right. Therefore, when you look a certain way, you could literally come from Ghana. If you are a pretty light-skinned girl with them titties and booty, South Africans will embrace you. It's just one of those brainwashed fuck things that we've done where, again, we think the tone of your skin is more valuable than... That's a different chat for a different day. So, going back to when I'm talking about this whole xenophobic thing. So, with Miss SA, I just don't want to butcher her name, so I apologize if I do. Her name is Chidimma Adetshina. I think that's how I say it. Chidimma Adetshina. So, her father is Nigerian. Her mother is South African, but of Mozambican descent. And I think she was born and bred in Soweto. So people have been asking me, Kuti, what's my thoughts on that? Her being half Nigerian, her mother having origins in Mozambique, and now she's wanting to be part of Miss South Africa. Policy-wise, she is South African, born and bred South African. We can't argue that. She's got a green passport, so that's the case. Where you are born, you are a citizen. Sharp. No qualms, ne? My problem is she also a citizen of Nigeria? Because her father's Nigerian. So I've heard so many people that say they've got dual citizenship. Oh, my mom is from Scotland and my dad is from South Africa. Therefore, I've got a Scottish passport. And I don't subscribe to that. I don't. I really don't. I don't subscribe to being a dual citizen. What happens if you are a citizen of Scotland and South Africa, and South Africa and Scotland go to war, and all the men have to be forced to fight? Who are you going to fight for? We saw this in Ukraine, right? In Ukraine versus Russia, where men weren't allowed to leave Ukraine or whatever the case, because they had to stay and fight. Okay, so she now has dual citizenship of South Africa and Nigeria. If we were to have a friction, whatever, where will she go? Where will she? If you're a citizen, then be a citizen. From a legal point, you're trying to take all the benefits from being a citizen. So be a citizen. So give me, it's a matter of not her denouncing her heritage. Of course, that's her heritage and she must celebrate it. But it's her citizenship. If she has dual citizenship, then we need to get into that conversation. We'll go to, no, pick one. Are you here repping Nigeria? Are you here repping SA from a policy point? I was listening to old clips of Julius Malema calling Ututuzane and Ututuzile Zuma not South African because they were born in Mozambique, Maputo, Mozambique. Again, their father was in Kandla, Jacob Gedlehlekisa Zuma. Does that not make... So according to Julius, where you are born, you are a citizen of. Therefore, according to him and his policy, this lady here, Chidimma, is South African. No qualms. Not fighting you. My question is she also Nigerian in terms of citizenship? So Ututuzane, Malema said he's not a South African purely because he wasn't born in South Africa. You discounted the fact that Ubabake Uzuma, okay, sharp. Does he have dual citizenship? And if he does, he must pick one. Tutuzane must pick one. He must say, I'm South African because idlos lamlila. Abakazuma bala, basenkandla. Then he must say that. But this thing of bouncing up and down, I don't subscribe to it. And that's what makes this thing so murky. There's so many people. There's been past Miss South Africans that are also, oh, my dad is from Portugal, my mom. There's been many South Africans who are mixed and whatsoever. I'm not even fighting that. If you're Miss South Africa, to me, listen carefully here. To me, you could have been born in Zambia. You come over to this country, you work, you pay tax for X many years, let's say 5, 10 years, then you can apply for citizenship. Once you apply for citizenship here, you are no longer a citizen in another country. Just in case, guys, this is not a GNU of countries. No. This is not, you can't be a polygamist countryist. No. So yes, you're born and raised in Zambia. You come here for 10 years, you pay tax, you contribute positively to the economy, you apply for your citizenship, you're South African. You got Zambian heritage, you got Zambian originage, whatever it is, but you're South African. And if we were to fight against Zambia, you are part of Team South Africa there against Zambia. That's how I see it, So again, when it comes to this lady, my whole thing, I understand from a policy point, you're South African. My whole question would be, are you a dual citizen? If not, pick one. And that's the one that you'll represent. Pick one. We don't want the Ukraine-Russia thing happening, and then we're thinking, what you are South African, next thing, you're turning the gun on us because you're like, now Team Nigeria, Yes, you're allowed to say, we saw you on Twitter celebrating with your Nigerian part of your family. Embrace that, love that, celebrate with them. It's only fair. Come back to a Soweto, celebrate with your Soweto side, celebrate, only fair. But let's understand, where do you fall? Where do you fall? Don't come and say, we are xenophobic. Whoa. Where do you fall, Kala? We can't have someone who is part of Team Nigeria, citizenship-wise, who's part of that coming through and taking what South Africa... No, we can't have that. We are sorry. Your job is to represent South Africa. If you are Miss South Africa, you are representing South Africa. If you are Miss Africa, you are representing Africa. So it's one of those things. If you are Miss World or Miss Worldy, you're competing on Alien, Mars, Venus. That's who you are. You represent South Africa. So again, be very cognizant with we are not trying to say, forget about your heritage. Your heritage is beautiful, it's important, it's whatever. Just understand, we want to know, if you become and you win Miss South Africa, will you fully represent South Africa? Or will you half represent South Africa and then half represent another country? And if that's the case, I would rather let us just vote for someone who can fully embrace and celebrate South Africa. That's just my 2 cents on that topic. Moving swiftly along to what's happening in Pretoria. Again, Pretoria Girls High. So for those that don't know, there was a group of just white girls in it. And they were saying a lot of racist things in that group. And obviously it slipped. There's always pimpis in the thingy. It came out and the girls at Pretoria protested saying the school is racist. This is not the first time that Pretoria Girls High is on TV or in the news. They were in the news trending in 2016, if you guys remember, with the lady about the hair policy and things like that. And they felt the whole hair policy was just based on whiteness and it was there to squeeze the black child. I've spoken about that many times. If you go to your average school, their hair policy was based on white people. They'll say things like your hair shouldn't go below your eyebrows, your hair shouldn't cover over your ears. As a 13-year-old black boy, when will your hair, unless you're in these woke schools, I'm talking about the traditional schools, when would I at school have my hair over my ears or my fringe over my eyebrows? How would that have happened? So again, I used to say that even when I was at school, when I was in matric, I used to say, this hair policy is based on white hair. It's not based on black hair. So let's have this conversation. When I moved and went to different schools, I'd also bring that up. Many schools in 2024 have become woke and they've adjusted their policy to try and accommodate everyone. They'll speak about cornrows, they'll speak about dreadlocks, they'll speak about things that are hair extensions, things that also accommodate teen. Because all those type of things. So now it's been included. There's conversations, again, we can't talk too much about certain conversations because there's many lawyers involved in this. One of the reasons is that some of the girls on that WhatsApp group that were racist are in matric, and we know that their prelims are coming up in a couple of days. So also, do you suspend them? And then how do they get to write their prelims? Obviously, they're very stressed right now. They're very anxious. The way I look at it is that whenever I see a child acting out of turn, I always go back to the community the child is being raised in. So that means the family, the next door neighbors, whatever, the extended family as well. And for people to be spewing racism in WhatsApp groups, it tells me a lot about where they come from. Again, we all say horrific things behind closed doors. We talk negatively about our gay brothers and sisters behind closed doors. We know, we say all these slurs. We okay, sharp. But let's be honest, we were raised in a very homophobic community and environment, and we're still in that. So let's at least be fair. So these ladies, when they talking racism and talking about their peers, they must first say, I come from a racist community, be it my school, be it my parents, be it my extended family, we are racist. And as a result, it becomes very, very difficult for me to break out of that shell, even though I may be trying and doing better than the generation before me. So give me, when I see these things, I say it's nothing new. Much like many white people, they are racist based on when they like to, when they feel a type of way. I played rugby my whole life. There's many, many, many racist experiences that I've had. And I've had many times where my Afrikaans teammate would stand up for me, if he thinks with that person was being underhanded, whatever, So again, yes, there's many types of racism. There's many people who are racist. We understand that. But as South Africans, I think, again, going to the xenophobic one, it's pick and choose. Guys want to pick and choose when to be racist. Again, if you're racist, be racist. Be straight so I know where I stand with you. But don't go around the corners. Don't, we are meanders, we are face like, no. You better racist straight up and where you standing. Just say you don't like black people. Don't say, it's just that you are different from that. Yeah, I'm not different from nothing. I'll change on you now. Yeah. If you're racist, be racist. Sure, okay, that's who you are. You're a fucking loser. Cool. Then I know I need to step back and move away from you. I need to step back and move away from you. Again, I'm not overly sensitive. I know some people throw a little joke here and there, talking about Zulu people, talking about black people. Sharp, I understand banter, but there's also a line in the sand that we can't cross. I wonder what's going to happen next with the school, having it this the second time something like this happens, especially so publicly. There's probably hundreds of smaller cases that we don't know about, but this one is a huge public one again. I wonder what's going to happen to the school governing body. I wonder what's going to happen to the school management team. I wonder what's going to happen to these girls, because again, a lot of them are in matric, they're writing their final exams. Do you suspend them now? Do you punish them to a point where it might affect their final results for them to repeat matric? How far do we go with this? With that being said, it's always ironic, or not ironic, I don't know what the word is. This is good. When you see the ANC Youth League and the EFF there, we all run to the EFF when there's racial what when we go to the polls, it's about voting. But there they are fighting for our young black sisters. There is the ANC Youth League fighting for our black little sisters. So it's crazy. Like I'm glued to my screen trying to figure out what the next steps are. Glued to my screen trying to figure out what next school that's gonna pop about these racist allegations or whatever homophobic or xenophobic allegations that might come out. We need a lot of work, guys. We need a lot of work. Let's stop treating racism like a buffet. Let's stop treating xenophobia like a buffet. Let's stop treating tribalism like a buffet where we pick and choose when to hate, when to like, when to associate. Let's not do that. Let's just be kind people as best as we can. Be respectful as best as we can. I might not agree with how you practice your life and you might not agree with mine, but let's have a mutual respect, and be kind to one another. Anyway, share in the comments or write in the comments what your thoughts are about what's happening in Pretoria and Miss South Africa. If you've got more information that we can learn from, please break it down for us. Share this video far and wide. Hit that subscription button and that notification bell. Have yourselves a fantastic day and turn up.